Okay, guys, I need to watch this. This is kind of like, I haven't seen this in a long time. I love this guy. I haven't seen some of his stuff. I watched him a lot since he left Polygon, but this isn't an option. I must watch this guy because I haven't seen him in a long time. I have no idea what's in this video, and I have been so fucking obsessed with Sonic. What is this? What is this? Is this Sonic Adventure 2 for the Dreamcast? Is this Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast? Is this a new Dreamcast behind me? Not new, but in box. Have I been collecting Sega merch again? Old consoles? It's time, guys. Let's see what this is about, because I can't remember at all.
Has been enjoying a bit of a resurgence as of late because of his upcoming feature film, which is great because you go, oh,
True.
Oh, those legs are way too human. Those legs are, oh my God, those legs look like I could have those legs. Please don't show that to me anymore. Please get it out of here. Stop. This new Sonic has a lot of fans crying heresy. Sonic should be that cute blue cartoon hedgehog that's gotta go fast, and that's all he's gotta do. But what if I told you that this was not the only blasphemous
I'm glad they changed the design,
Sonic?
by the way.
What if I told
that was
you
old
that
design.
nearly every single piece of Sonic media was heretical? I hold in my hand 13 pages that prove just that.
This guy has too much fun doing what he does.
Before I hop into the deep end, I need to explain a little bit about Sega, these 13
He wrote a
pages,
Sonic
and how
Bible.
Sonic was made. You see,
Alright.
Sega was in a real tough spot in the early 90s as it tried to compete with Nintendo and the overwhelmingly successful Mario. So they worked internally to create a new mascot, not just for a game, but for the company as a whole. Naoto Oshima created Mr. Needlemouse, a teal hedgehog with red
Needlemouse.
sneakers, and then he worked with Yuji Naka to create a game around this wonderful creature.
Alright.
A few tweaks, and Sonic the Hedgehog was born. Or at least one version of Sonic was born. You see, Sega wasn't just fighting with Nintendo, it was also fighting with itself. Sega
Yeah,
of America
permanent,
and
by the
Sega
way.
of Japan had a lot of tension between them, and they didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially when it came to Sonic.
Leave
the original version of
America
Sonic
to
was
do
a bit
it,
more
please.
punk rock and had a girlfriend, a real-life human girlfriend.
All right,
named
don't leave the
Madonna.
US to do it.
And we all know that Sega would never make Sonic kiss a
No!
woman.
No!
So Sega of America started to
It didn't
iron things
happen.
out a little bit, make Sonic a bit more family-friendly, more marketable. Madeline
Way
Schroeder,
before I
the
was 6.
self-described mother of Sonic, wrote out this 13-page Bible that set out Sonic's
mother, eh?
true origins. These 13 pages went on to become the true Sonic, the Sonic we all know and love.
Right.
Nope! This Bible has had very little bearing on the series as a whole. But here's the thing, friends.
Who wrote
it
this?
should have a lot
Mother of Sonic?
bearing on the series as a whole. And I am willing to wield this Bible as a paladin wields a holy sword so that I might excise sin out from the Sonic canon!
Brother!
I'm sorry, that was a lot.
I'm sorry, I got into that.
Folks,
Sorry.
We're about
Continue.
to engage in a friendly session of biblical literalism. Now, I'm not one to advocate taking a written account as the pure truth and nothing
Literalism,
but, but for Sonic, I'm willing to bend my values a little bit.
Right,
We're about to take everything written in these 13 pages as gospel, and anything that deviates from the facts therein as sacrilege. Let's get
No heresy.
fundamental. I'm not going to read this Bible in its
Sonic
entirety. You can
fundamentalist.
read it online if you like, but I am going to read the first paragraph in full because I think it's important for you to understand what we're dealing with. Sonny Hedgehog was born on Earth in the early...
Hedgehog! What is that?
21st century in the town of Lincoln, Nebraska, population 1,226.
You're telling me that in the Sonic Bible, his name was Sonny? No! No! It makes too much sense! Oh my god!
From the first line alone, we already know that 1, Sonic's birth name is actually Sonny. 2, he is a real hedgehog that was born...
All right.
Circa 2000.
This is my fan fiction.
He's a Midwestern boy. He and his mother and 5 sisters
Oh
live
my
underneath
God,
a
this is so
scraggly
funny.
hedge beside the local burger joint.
I'm lightheaded.
And subsist on burger scraps, milkshakes, and the occasional slug or bug that crawls their way. They are
Calming
a poor
down.
but happy family. From
Okay,
these lines,
he's
we know
impoverished.
that 4, Sonic's family lives in an actual hedge, which is I guess why they're called hedgehogs. And 5,
Right.
they have a very similar diet to me. Unfortunately, Sonny's
Scraps.
dad died when Sonny was just a few days old after falling into a gurgling, festering vat of toxic waste dumped in a nearby pond.
Bro?
What? Sonic, the lighthearted hedgehog we all know and love, never
Yeah.
knew his father because he was reduced to sludge thanks to corporate pollution. There are 30 key tenets in the Sonic Bible, and I'm just gonna go ahead and list them off real quick. I'm sure that wherever he is terribly good eyesight, he frequent the local bowling alley. Donating quilts. Sonny was on the team, right. Kindly mustachioed. I'm using it to controversial and Kintabor's excellent face. Sonny learned computer science. Began running most of his
Sonny was a computer scientist, too? Hey, did you know that only 10%, less actually, like 8% of you guys are subscribed? If you want to support the channel, please subscribe. It's one of the best things you can do for me.
My name is Sonic, disgusting. Then on the half-eaten egg, it didn't last long. The 30 tenets of the Sonic the Hedgehog
what?
Bible. Look at him up there. Beautiful.
Hedge heaven exists?
Practically glowing with potential energy. The potential energy I shall release into a holy flame so that I might burn out the blasphemy.
Destroy
from
the
Sonic's
heresy!
modern iteration.
Destroy the...
We should probably just take a couple minutes just like.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
need water.
Yeah, I agree with
Water,
this.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Now, most of
Taking it
these
too
are
far.
not found in most
Too
of
far.
the iterations of Sonic, but there are 3
Calm
that
down, chat.
specifically decanonize every game in the Sonic franchise.
Saw Sonny has brown
Let's
quills.
talk about 'em. Number 18.
Did he die
There
in
are
blue?
7 Chaos Emeralds, 1 is a stabilizer. You might have heard me say the name
Oh.
Kintobor. He
That's
turns
actually super
into
interesting.
Dr. Robotnik after he is fused with the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and a hard-boiled egg. Not a joke, but he was originally
Bro,
looking for the Chaos
that
Emeralds
sucks.
so that way he could bundle them up and then launch them into space, thus reversing all pollution on the planet Earth. The reason
Okay.
for this is because the Chaos Emeralds contain a microlytic copy of all the inert energy of every gross and disgusting impulse or deed done by humans since the beginning of time. Ignoring that microlytic is the name of a company and not an actual scientific term, this seems to state that the Chaos
Okay.
Emeralds are just a crystalline form of every gross impulse. Every time you pick your nose
Yo!
instead of using a tissue, that's in the emerald. Every time you wear your underwear 5 times in a week because you think it doesn't smell that bad, that's in the emerald.
That's in the emerald!
Every time you go 3 days without shampooing. I get it. Look, sometimes, you know, the shampoo has sulfates and that can damage your hair.
It's
we all
bad
have
for
different
you.
scalps. But that's in the emeralds too.
It's
Most
in
of
the
games
emerald.
just
I go
state
like a
the
week.
Chaos Emeralds are an
Look over
incredible
here.
source of power, something that will help
It's a
you
lot to watch.
take over the world or become supersonic. They don't
So,
ever mention
yes,
that they're essentially
Shinobi, that's
just
in
garbage
the emerald.
diamonds. Had Sega included one piece of flavor text,
Your Waluigi
like,
thoughts are
you
in there.
got a Chaos Emerald. You should probably go wash your hands now. Then it would have been fine. But they didn't. Number 21.
So they never acknowledge us.
Kintobor was a father figure. Just as a reminder, Sonic's
Who's
dad
Kintobor?
died in a vat of toxic
Okay.
waste, which is why
Right.
it meant so much when Kintobor offered him an assistantship. Sonny was
Okay.
thrilled at the prospect, because although Sonny had
Stop
never
calling
known
Sonic
his father,
Sonny.
Kintobor reminded him of the kind face
Wait, didn't have a
in the
father.
photograph.
This is fucked up.
Can you imagine the drama in this? Sega, you keep trying to do these gritty reboots of Sonic. Sonic plus gun. Sonic plus getting kissed by a human woman. You don't need all that. It's all right here. You are literally pitting Sonic, a hedgehog without a father, against the
Hedgehoggy.
man who became his father figure and then turned evil thanks to the machines that Sonic helped create. I hear you saying, Brian, there's no evidence that Sonic doesn't think of Robotnik as a father figure. And to that I say, bullshit! I have never seen him cry after defeating Robotnik. I have never seen him hold the lifeless body of his father figure and say, I am sorry. It had to turn out like this. I am sorry.
Oh my god! This guy is such a... I love the way he enacts his own scripts.
Sonic cry over the loss of what could have been, Sega,
Yeah.
you cowards. And finally,
Yeah.
the third and most important tenet that destroys
the
the
greatest.
entirety of the Sonic canon. Number 11. Sonic helps quilters. Have you ever seen Sonic in a quilting circle? Because he should be there. While making the rounds for juicy tidbits and gossip, he's
gotta be there.
on the ladies of the local quilting circle to offer a convenient pin or needle from his ample portable supply. Where is my Sonic game with a quilting circle? Sonic CD, shitty, Sonic Mania, trash. Sonic Hedgehog
No
2,
quilting.
more like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, much of a dunce, to include the quilting circle that is so integral to Sonic's backstory. And with that,
His delivery is so good. Too much of a dunce. It is just
but from
you.
this
It's
scorched
me.
earth can bloom a
It's
mighty
me.
flower.
I know how to quilt. I do computer science.
The true Sonic the Hedgehog. What would that video game look like? What
Yeah.
are the ramifications of a Sonic the Hedgehog game based on the Bible?
Yeah.
The Sonic the Hedgehog Bible. Let's go
Right.
through this piece by piece. We
Clarification.
start the game with a legitimate hedgehog who lives in a hedge, and his name is Sunny, and it's 2019, and he's got brown quills, and they won't become blue until he gets faster, and he eats food that is similar to the food that I eat. He lives in Hardley, Nebraska, which is where
Okay,
the entire game is
Nebraska.
set, so you better get ready for running in lots of cornfields. His eyesight's not so good, but it's okay because he'll get rec specs, since he is able to read but is also on the track team, so the entire game is actually just running in track meets in the middle of a cornfield. When he's not running track, he's at the bowling alley, or the playground, or the quilting circle, doing normal hedgehog things. The problem is that his town has so much pollution, which is how his dad died, and it's also why Kintobor, now Robotnik, the trim kindly scientist who gave Sonic his new nickname and the ability to speak the human tongue, was trying to solve with his new physics theories and his machines and all of those terrible, gross 7 Chaos Emeralds before he became evil and also a bit of an egg. This is especially rough because Kintobor, before he became Robotnik, would feed Sonic really good food and was basically a father figure to him. Also, Sonic is good at computer science. So the game is basically an evil polluting scientist being taken down by a Midwestern teenage hedgehog track star with daddy issues. So it's basically if the CW rebooted Sonic. Reach out to me, CW. I will license this. But I haven't used all 30 of
This
these
is so
patents.
fucking good.
See, there are 4 of them that, to be perfectly honest, shouldn't be possible. And beyond
Yeah.
that, they are impossible to put into a game. I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Number 7 shows Sonic's dead father winking at him through a picture on the wall, which proves the existence of an afterlife in the Sonic universe. Number 15 shows that Sonic is able to hibernate below delta waves, and those are the slowest possible brain waves, about 0.5 hertz. To go below them, Sonic would have probably died, and yet he is resurrected and lives again. And number 24, Sonic is shown to run at the speed of light, and if the rules of relativity are to be believed,
He
that
can't have
means
mass.
his mass would have to infinitely expand, and he would need infinite energy to do this, and that would destroy the world, and yet he is able to do that without harming himself or those around him. Number
my
30
God.
is actually within the Bible itself.
No.
It states, but like most peaceful times in the 21st century, it didn't last long. This Bible was written in 1991, 9 years before the 21st century, and yet it prophesied our challenging political landscape. These 4 pieces of information are not purely canonical information, they are divine miracles. So of course I could not put them into
the
a game.
Bible.
They could only
Sonic
fit
Bible.
in a religion. So I went on a WikiHow, the foremost explainer of how to do things, and I knew somewhere hidden in their beautiful imagery would be the way that I could spread the word of Sonic to the masses. And before you get upset with me saying, Brian, aren't you just starting a cult? Look at this question answered by Cute Girl Core. Technically speaking, religions and cults are the same thing. So I have formed my religion around Sonic the Hedgehog, and guess what? I have a confession. I've never played a Sonic game.
What?
Never in my life.
I don't believe
only
you.
tell you this now because you've already made it this far into the video, and the sunk cost fallacy states that if you feel like you've invested something, you're gonna see it through to the end. But it's okay
I know that.
I haven't played a Sonic game because that means I haven't been tainted. I have never beheld the false Sonic. Only someone blind to the modern blasphemies of the Sonic franchise could see as clearly as I. Because if a hedgehog could commune with the dead, be resurrected, run with infinite energy, and have his gospel prophesy the future, then either Sonic is a god or could kill God, and I do not care if there is a difference! Hello, friends. I'd like to take a moment now and apologize for my recent outburst. I've taken some time and cooled down since the filming of this video, and though I suppose I could have just not uploaded it to YouTube, I decided it would serve well as a caution.
What do you think Sega thought?
Taking lore to be purely literal,
Someone
whether
at
that's for a
Sega
video game
saw
or
this.
backstory for a TV show, is a dangerous rabbit hole that can often lead to anger. Biblical literalism is just an early form of fandom. Sometimes we gotta be a little bit more lenient. Because sometimes the Bible was written to make a character more marketable to kids in the 90s. So let's learn
That's
from
true
this example
sometimes.
and make sure
But
to
this
take
Bible is
new
real.
additions to our favorite things in stride, even if it's these legs. I'm sorry, I can't in good conscience agree with that. I do not agree with those legs.
I don't
I'm
like these
sorry.
legs.
I could, if you spray painted my legs blue, I could cosplay as this Sonic. Do you think I should do that? Do you think I should spray paint my legs blue for a Sonic cosplay?
Oh
just
my God.
just half down Sonic.
That would be
I'm
so
not gonna do
funny.
anything else to my body. Just what are the ramifications of a Sonic the Hedgehog game based on the Bible?
I'm glad he left Polygon because his stuff, like his not video game related stuff, is also like really, really good. So, but now, sadly, I might have to, in the future, watch more Brian David Gilbert reacts because these are so good.